This is a fun Monday night matchup of a doubleheader in the Week 2 season where the Cleveland Browns are going to their arch nemesis Pittsburgh Steelers for a doubleheader Monday night football matchup. And Ryan, this is just going to be an amazing matchup. Both teams had shocking games, I would say, in Week 1. Very good for the Browns, not so good for the Steelers. We're going to break down kind of our thoughts and opinions about each game. But Ryan, I want to hear your thoughts first about what the Browns and Steelers both have to do to come out victorious in Week 2.
So for the Steelers, I think it all revolves around that offensive line. Chukwuma Okorafor is questionable on the injury report. I'm not sure how much of that is like a real injury or him maybe just getting a lighter practice day. So that's something to keep your eye on. But the Steelers' offensive line has to play well. If we saw what this defensive line was able to do to a fully healthy Bengals offensive front, and if the Steelers do anything like they did in Week 1 with the San Francisco defensive front, this Browns defensive line is just as good, in my opinion. With Myles Garrett, they brought in Zadarius Smith, and then not Draymond Jones, but
Dalvin Tomlinson.
And so that, for me, it's like those three guys alone could just completely wreck Monday night for these players. So, or for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And on the flip side, the Browns, in my opinion, they just have to do what they did against the Bengals, right? Play great defensive football, run the ball. I think they will be able to run the ball fairly well against the Steelers front. The 49ers definitely were. Jack Conklin is on IR, so that's a bit of a blow to this Browns offensive line. But for me, I think the Browns, they just keep doing what they were doing last week, and they should be fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the biggest thing to me. I think is just going to be the injuries coming in. Yes, Jack Conklin, he's out for the season. That's a tough loss, especially in Week 1. But then as well, you look at it from the Steelers side as well. Cameron Hayward's looking like he's not going to play. Injured his groin. Looked like he might even go to IR.
He's out. Cameron Hayward's ruled out, and Deontay Johnson's doubtful.
He's out. The way we both had hamstring injuries before. So I'd be very surprised if he plays, especially this early in the season. Be like, no, we want to get you healthy for later on. Maybe if it was late, like if it was like a big game, be like, okay, let's see what you can do. But then there's another one as well here where'd it go? I did see DeMarvin Leal and also Pat Fryermuth also did not come back in the game against the 49ers. So that's going to be something to watch throughout the entire week. But just in general, though, I think you hit it nail on the head. I think honestly, like skill position player wise, I would say they're very comparable. The Browns are like with Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in the league, so they have the edge there. But then when you look at the receivers overall, and then the quarterback position as well, I personally don't see too much of a difference. I think especially if Pat Fryermuth and Deontay Johnson don't play, that actually does give the Browns a skill position edge there. So I will correct myself there. But quarterback wise, Deshaun Watson, I haven't been too impressed with him coming back. Maybe he's still getting his sea legs back. Kenny Pickett just absolutely hit a buzzsaw last week in that 49ers defense. Rightfully so. I mean, 49ers deserve all the credit there. I just think overall, I think they're going to run into something similar as well. And with what you said with Myles Garrett, and company leading the way, I think they're just going to destroy that offensive line, which is, I think, going to be something that they are really going to need to address in this upcoming offseason.
Yeah. That to me is going to be what's holding this Steelers team back. And again, we saw what the Browns defensive front was able to do against the Bengals offensive line that was fully healthy. They had a huge free agency signing Orlando Brown Jr. I believe Ted Karras is their left guard as well. He's a solid guard. And so it's just like that offensive line should be a good unit, and this Browns front just completely dismantled them. So I think that to me kind of leads us into the picks. I'm leaning towards the Browns for that reason. Steelers, they coming out of Week 1 have a ton of injuries. First off, and then this offensive line is really weak, and I think the Browns end up just kind of feasting off that. I'm going to say it's a 27-10 win for the Browns.
Yeah, it's all right. I think quick correction there. You said Ted Karras.
No, I'm sorry. Is it Joe Tooney? No, it should be Ted Karras.
No. Ted Karras is the center for the Bengals. I think you're thinking of the center for the Steelers is Mason Cole. I do mean Isaac Samalo, the left guard.
Yeah. Ted Karras, he was the left guard for the Patriots when he was there. He went over to the Bengals a couple seasons ago.
Yeah, Bengals are in the AFC North, so you're kind of close there.
Yeah.
So I'm with you as well with the Browns. I was honestly before. It's funny how amazing research makes you feel smarter and more confident in your picks. But before the picks, I was thinking like Pittsburgh Monday night, tough rivalry, and then you just go and do the research like, oh yeah, this offense got destroyed, offensive line got destroyed, major injuries to the defense, just to both sides of the ball. Actually, I would say for the Steelers, yes, they lost Jack Conklin. Dwan Jones is looking like he's going to be going up against T.J. Watt. It's going to be a great first game. First start to your NFL career to go up against future first ballot Hall of Famer TJ Watt. So I think it's going to be fun, but I think just overall firepower wise, I think the Browns, it's going to be a rowdy environment. It is a big rivalry. These teams don't like each other as well. No. We have an aunt that's a Steeler fan that my mom does not talk to. That's how diehard this is in the family. Not really. We love your Aunt Lori. But it's going to be a good game.
A Browns fan.
No, she's a Steelers fan. Or
no, she's a Michigan fan.
It's like the same thing. It's like
it's pretty similar. Yeah,
pretty similar.
It is. Ohio State, Michigan. She's a Michigan fan.
I think
they're from Toledo,
right.
Which is like close. That's like a stone's throw from Michigan.
But she grew up in Conneaut, which is right by Cleveland, so that's why it doesn't make sense. So
yeah. Oh,
anyways,
that's what I meant. Anyways, that was way off track, but let's go ahead and wrap up this episode before we get even further off track. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on who you think is going to win this Monday night AFC North matchup. Is it going to be the Cleveland Browns or the Pittsburgh Steelers? Let us know down below, and on that we will see you guys next time.